Okay, so I am watching General Hospital, and I went online and saw some of the comments, and I just had to say something, a little something, nothing big, but that's why I'm not on my computer, nothing fancy. I'm just sitting here. Want to get my thoughts out right away and get them out to you guys. I'm gonna go edit it and whatever that stuff. But first, anyway, this is Jay's Dirty Deeds. I'm telling you. Okay, I love this whole storyline with Rocco and Danny being brothers, and I've had step brothers, step sisters growing up, so I understand that we were close and you build families. I love this kind of storyline. But I saw a lot of folks getting upset. They're like, why is Carly all of a sudden talking to Danny? And for me, I'm glad it is happening. For me, it actually makes sense, and I'll tell you why. I feel like there are people who I notice they stick to storylines that they personally see it. Whatever went on screen, that's it, and they're literal. It's like whatever happened on screen is what happened, and that's it. And I guess for me and for some other people, I'm like, well, that's true. So what's happened on screen is happened on screen. And they have certainly made mistakes they certainly have rewritten certain things. You're like, no, they actually showed that and whatever. But then there are other things where I think characters are allowed to evolve. And so the writers didn't have Carly involved in Danny's life. Well, Sam was there. There's no reason for her to be that involved. But Jason's her best friend. Sam is now dead. I feel like, okay, of course she would step up. And she's had more scenes with Danny since then. So for me, not that, to me, it seems like a okay evolution. It doesn't bother me just because before she didn't so much that now, how could she now? There are folks who, definitely don't like when they fill in gaps. Like if someone goes away for a while or someone has not been on the show for, to me that means there's story possibility out there. Because it didn't happen on screen doesn't mean that you can't have had something happen off screen or in no situation. And so someone's like, well, they rewrote it's like other stories. They wrote this story and I don't like, well, I mean, like Brooklyn, there were many years she wasn't on the canvas. They're actually filling in. There was a whole bunch of time. We didn't know Dante before he came on the show. We didn't know Cody. Well, now they're filling in some of that story that's off camera, and they decided to tie it into the present, which actually makes sense in a soap story, obviously. And so for some people, they might like it. I totally get it. They might like the actual storyline. I totally get that. But other folks denouncing it. Well, that just makes no sense. How could this happen? I'm like, well, that's kind of a long-running soap opera. Yes, you can mine some story about stuff that happened on screen. Clearly, that's how soap operas work. But I also sometimes, if a new regime comes in and they want to really utilize a character, and maybe they don't want to use exactly what was on screen, they want to create something off screen. If that character was off screen, I guess I don't have a problem with it. I know the whole thing with the Carly bringing up Jason and Robin and AJ and all that. There was some things that were off in the story, the way she was telling it. But then I was like, but it's Carly, so of course she sees it a certain way. When Jason talks about AJ and Ava and all that, of course Jason is seeing and saying it a certain way. Like some of the ways they say things and how they frame things is within the character, not necessarily what happened on screen. What we saw, because we saw everything or whatever. It's like it's part of the character and why they would say that. So it all just brought up as I watched this episode, going, wow, and to see the reaction to it. I like that Carly is getting more involved in Danny's life because he doesn't have a mom. He has no mom, and you folks, with some of you guys, I'm not a fan of Jason and Sasha. I don't want them together for real. Carly would be the next best thing. on some level. So I don't know. I guess I don't have a problem with it. That's all. That's all I want to say. It was really short and sweet to the point. This is Jay Surrey Deeds. I'm James Lott Jr., and I will talk to you next time.